Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, very happy to see you learning history from these videos, both on Facebook of Lumibini page as well as on YouTube channel of General Knowledge ABC. I am very happy that the views are increasing day by day along with the subscribers and followers. Thank you for this, and inshallah I will continue this topic of history and other subjects. In today's topic, it will be a revenue administration of Mauryans, because we are dealing with Mauryan administration, and now, as we know, it is a revenue administration. What are its features? Since we know there were many types of taxes that were collected from the people there, but four were man, and four types of taxes that were collected from the people were: number one, Baga, Bhaga. Number two is Bali. Number three, Hiranya. And number four was Panya. Let us discuss them briefly. And now our first is Baba. Land revenue collected on produce. Since we know Mauryans had been a community or people of settlement, that is, they lived on one place, had developed and a vast empire that was called as Mauryan Empire, and it was first of its kind that such a huge administration had been made by the Mauryan kings. Agriculture began to be produced by the people on vast quantity, and for the kings and its officials it was necessary that the development works for its public and welfare was to be done. So taxes from various sources was necessary. One important was that of Baga, because agricultural produce or production was very much. As we know, the people were living in or nearby the Gangetic Valley. So Ganga area is very fertile and the production was also very extensive. This land revenue was collected from this produce, but how much was that? It is not mentioned how much was collected from the people. However, one more thing we are being informed about by Megasthenes. Megasthenes is a historian, a Greek historian. He says in his book Indica that the land revenue of this Baga was 1/4. If you will be asked what was the land revenue of Baga taken during the time of Mauryas, as mentioned by Megasthenes in his book Indica, you have to say one fourth. There would have been at the time one sixth or one eighth, but what he says is one fourth, and you have to write the same. For Sanskrit literature, mostly written in AD, confirms that it was one sixth. In Sanskrit literature mostly written in AD. That is, this book is not Sanskrit language. Had not come during the BC. It came much later in during the time period of AD. And what is mentioned here, it says that the land revenue of Bhaga was one sixth. Perhaps one fourth would have been. It would have been earlier, one fourth, because it was the time. During the time, it was no need of more development, but when the development occurred more, and Ashoka became more liberal, then from his mindset, and he would have decreased it. Bali is another tax. Bali was a tax collected by fools, generally during war attack period. For example, if these are Mauryan kings or rulers attacking another territory, getting it. Now the people here are being ruled. People here are ruled forcefully. But to administer and take the administration in their own hands, it was to be done. So they in return had to pay some sort of a revenue to the administration, and that was called as Bali. Although these people were not willing to give the Bali, but they were forced to pay. What was that amount? That is not mentioned here. Bali was a tax that was being taken from the people during the time of war or attack. However, it is said, it may be asked for the people, to provide money in cash or material in kind if or during the wartime. If Mauryans were ready to fight a war, then they used to say to its people that they have to do war, so you have to pay this money. It's also mentioned in this way. Number third is Hiranya. This Hiranya was a tax that was collected in cash. You will be asked here, which of the following was the tax being collected in cash? Answer will be Hiranya, and nothing more will be asked to you about this. Praniya, one more. This was the tax that was also to say emergency tax that was collected during the time of flood, fire, etc. Flood, fire, famine, etc. For the sake of humanity, Hope you would have learned the revenue administration of Mauryan. Thank you for being with me.